Good evening to you all, the brave people of Ambazonia. Good evening to you all, our loving, dedicated, and caring people. The visit of the French ambassador to the Ambazonian territory, to Bamenda, it is part of the election engineering. It's part of the election interference. It's part of the political manipulation. Over the last few days, we have witnessed a series of events in an attempt by the colonial masters of Cameroon and their partners to shut up a discredited dictator, to try to help Mr. Biya to regain some form of credibility, to try to help the colonial state to find some footings within the Ambazonian territory. What we want the French ambassador to understand, they can do these gimmicks, these games with Cameroon, not with these generations of Ambazonians. We're very smart, we're very sophisticated, we're very savvy, we understand the moves, we understand the motives, we understand their intentions. This is not 1961, when they manipulated the Fonchas, where they psychologically manipulated the Fonchas and the Munas and took over our territory. This is a different generation. We live in different times, and we'll have different responses to all the gimmicks. Cameroon is bankrupt for the last 40 years. Mr. Biya and all his corrupt looters have not been able to provide even drinking water to the people of Cameroon. The Biya's regime has not been able to even be able to carry the garbage from the streets of Yaoundé or across the Cameroon territory. After 7 years of a declaration of war on the Ambazonian people that they promised to win in 2 weeks, 7 years later, the resistance is still strong. Our liberation struggle is forging forward. The French ambassador's visit to Yaoundé, it's part of the political manipulation to jail the Ambazonian people back into slavery, to jail the Ambazonian people back to accept Cameroon's occupation and colonialism, for the purpose, for all intentions that benefits France, because they get cheap resources from Yaoundé. We are aware also the visit of the US ambassador to Bamenda, it's all part of the strategy to jail the Ambazonian people back to accept Cameroon's occupation. The 30 billion CFA that has been promised by the French ambassador to Cameroon to help Cameroon to do reconstruction of the streets of Bamenda. It's a move to shut up the dictator. Mr. Biya has lost legitimacy. Mr. Biya has lost credibility. So the French ambassador is trying to use the image of France to boost Mr. Biya's credibility. To tell the Ambazonian people that, look, we know they haven't given you anything in terms of development. We are here to grant Cameroon a loan or a gift of 30 billion so that they can use it to reconstruct Ambazonia or the streets of Bamenda, or to give you better roads. Let me ask the French Mr. Christophe Gilhue. Watch this video, sir, and let's have the conversation. Let me bring up this video for you to watch the video, and then we can have the conversation about your 40 billion.
Voilà, voici, c'est comme ça, la poubelle, la poubelle s'étend sur près de 200 mètres, 200 mètres, voyez vous-même, voyez, il n'y a même plus de route, hein. Il n'y a plus de route, voilà, voici, Yaoundé 6, voilà les gens qui truquent les élections pour se maintenir au pouvoir, pour avoir des postes dont ils ne peuvent même pas gérer. Allez vous inscrire sur les listes électorales pour changer ces gens-là. Oui, Yaoundé 6. On veut des nouvelles personnes qui vont faire du travail. Ça, c'est quoi ça? Hein?
Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Christophe, the video you've just watched, that's garbage that has piled up in the streets of Yaoundé. That's where your 30 billion is needed. That's where your 30 billion is needed. Go clean the streets of Yaoundé. Go clean the streets of Douala. We don't need France to come and reconstruct Ambazonia. Go reconstruct La République du Cameroun. You've read the 2024 report from the World Bank. You've read the 2024 report from the IMF. You've read the report from International Crisis Group, from the World Bank, from Woody. Ambazonia does not need help from France. You've given political cover to Yaoundé to make sure that the conflict between Ambazonia and Cameroun is never discussed at a significant level at the General Assembly or the United Nations Security Council. You've given political cover to Yaoundé to make sure the conflict is not even discussed at the African Union. Ambazonian does not need France's money for road reconstructions. What we need is justice and accountability for the crimes that Mr. Biya has committed, for the crimes that the Cameroon military has committed on the Ambazonian people. We don't need political manipulations. And let us be clear to the French, and specifically to the French ambassador. Cameroon's presidential elections will take place in the territory of Cameroon. Ambazonia will not be a part of it. Cameroon's 2025 presidential elections will take place only in the territory of Cameroon. Ask Mr. Biya who we are according to the Canada Declaration, according to the pre-talks declaration in Canada. Ask Mr. Biya what he signed on to in terms of our identity as a people. Ask Mr. Biya about the December 2022 Toronto Declaration. We are not a geographic part of Cameroon. So it is time you stop wasting your money. It is time you stop trying to show up a regime that cannot sustain itself. 2 years ago, you gave Mr. Biya 40 billion CFA for reconstructions. What has happened to the first 40 billion? There's never been a reconstruction in the midst of a war. Why are you not doing reconstruction in Ukraine? There is an active war going on between Russia and Ukraine. While in the midst of that war, why is it that you are not doing reconstruction in Ukraine? There is an active war going on between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Why are you not going to Gaza to do reconstruction? Why are you not going to Ukraine to do reconstruction? What do you think? What do you take us for? As fools? People you can easily manipulate? Not this time around. Your 30 billion grant to Cameroon is called election interference. It's a crime. That is election interference. You try to show up a candidate whom even the people of Cameroon have rejected. That is election interference. That is election manipulation. That is bribery. That is corruption. We will battle La République du Cameroun until they get the hell out of Ambazonia. We will continue the resistance. We will intensify the resistance. We will continue with our economic sabotage, and we will starve Cameroon. Here is our advice to you. What you can do, what the French can do, is to tell Mr. Biya to postpone the elections in Cameroon until he has obtained and attained a negotiated settlement of the conflict. Here is our advice to you. Tell Mr. Bia, tell Mr. Tanganjipor, tell Diongote to postpone the elections in Cameroon. And to seek for a political settlement, a negotiated settlement of the conflict. That's our advice to you. Your 30 billion grant for Mr. Bia to use as electoral manipulation, for bribery, for corruption, to manipulate the Ambazonian people with some form of normalization will not work. We will intensify our armed resistance. Fellow Ambazonians, recently, the French ambassador, he don't come up for Yaoundé, Mr. Christophe Guilhu, he don't come up for Yaoundé, he come for Bamenda. The reason why he come for Bamenda, he not come na for can find a political solution to the conflict. He not come na because he love the people of Ambazonia. He not come na because he care about the lives of the Ambazonian people then. He never ever make any statement. The only thing we don't do now for block any significant discussion within the General Assembly of the United Nations, for block any significant discussion within the United Nations Security Council for the matter way for this conflict where it involve Ambazonia versus Cameroun. The French, they provide Mr. Bia with diplomatic cover, financial cover. Mr. Bia don't lost credibility for the international system, and the French, they try for showing up. All right? When a person don't lost credibility, they always go find another person in credibility for use them, for try for help that other person make it regain a character. And I think this is what the French, they try for do them. Which they do them, they call and say election interference. For an election here, for another country, for commode, it can't start to do these kind of things. Now election interference. Now election manipulation. Now election bribery. Now election corruption. We want to make the French, they understand. 2 years ago, they give Mr. Bia 40 billion for say, Mr. Bia say he want to do reconstruction. Now we don't ask Mr. Christophe. Say why be say Mr. Christophe he own reconstruction. The French, the war they still go on. Why then the one can't do their own reconstruction when the war go on? Why they not be interested for call Mr. Bia, say look, this election we want hold and so, no hold that election, postpone the election, continue the negotiation, we will not start them for Canada. Why the French do not pressure the international community? Make the pressure Mr. Bia. Say look, not by the time this will hold this election. You just talk to you still fight war for Ambazonia. The war never finish, and now you talk say you want to go hold election. We not accept those conditions. The insecurity too much, the conditions will not be ripe for elections. Go find negotiation first, get a political settlement first before you hold election. Now the thing that way, every reasonable people then will be honest. They go do one. A reasonable people, a country where you get good intentions, it go talk say, look, they don't burn over 1,000 villages. We go one make the first of all, they go do an assessment of all the villages where they don't burn, an assessment of all the people where they don't kill them. They get to a negotiated settlement. Once the negotiated settlement don't happen, they get this political negotiation. Once it don't happen, then Cameroun will organize elections. You know, if you come for an election here, and then you leave La République, the country where you be their colonial master, you don't leave that country, and then you come out, you come for the occupied territory, We now for all the resources that they come out, where they defeat the French and grow French businesses and grow the French economy. You don't come out there, you come now, you can't talk now for inside the Ambazonian territory, say, you want to give Mr. Biya 30 billion, make he use them for fix the road them for all the streets them for Bamenda. The first 40 billion, we will not give them 2 years ago. Who said the money go? They road them for Bamenda. Cameroun never ever construct road them for Bamenda. So how the fact if you can reconstruct something where they never ever construct them? They call it manipulation. You know if you can reconstruct something where you never ever construct them. So they use language for manipulate the Ambazonian people and manipulate the international community. So that's why we don't ask the question. Why Mr. Christophe, the French ambassador, he only be interested when the war is still going between Ambazonia and Cameroon for can provide Mr. Biya a political cover with an election interference, and he talks he one can reconstruct, give money, made a reconstruct the city of Bamenda, made a reconstruct the road for Bamenda. The question we ask him, Mr. Christophe, we will ask you, why be say the war will go on for Ukraine and Russia, for inside Russia? Why Mr. Christophe, he not go right inside that war for talk say they say he want go reconstruct Ukraine? Why they not go do reconstruction? Because they know say an active war, they not fit do reconstruction. They know that one. He never go, why he not fit talk say make he go reconstruct Ukraine? Because the war is still going on. And he knows say be impossible. The war will go on between Israel and Hamas for inside Gaza. Why Mr. Christophe, he never go enter for inside Gaza? Talk say one go do reconstruction. Because he knows it be impossible. Why did he say they only be interested for this manipulation for inside Ambazonia? So the video I don't play on, when I don't see dirty for the streets of Yaoundé, that video, now for tell Mr. Christophe, the place where he need help, the place where he need reconstruction, na Yaoundé, na Douala, make it take the 30 billion. He go give him for Mr. Biya, make it sweep the dirty for the streets of Yaoundé and for the streets of Douala. Make it take that 30 billion. Go give him for Mr. Biya, make it give the people of Cameroun water for drink. Make it take the 30 billion, go give him for Mr. Biya. The people for the northern Cameroun, 70% of them not get water for drink. 70% of the 3 provinces for the northern regions of Cameroun, the people, them 70% of the population, they never even get primary school education. Now for they need reconstruction, not be for Ambazonia. We don't need France make it can reconstruct Ambazonia. The only place where France if reconstruct them, now Cameroun and Mr. Biya don't destroy them. Ambazonia be rich enough, Ambazonia be wealthy enough. At the end of the conflict, we go rebuild Ambazonia by WSSF. Wait what people they need for know, and they need for be prepared for. They don't already start for by the election. Now the manipulation of the Cameroon presidential election, it already start. Now foreign government them now, they come now for can campaign, for can take money, begin the fool Ambazonians, for forget about their liberation. So if na France, it come now for can reconstruct, then wait till go happen after the election. So na France too now, it go come build all the house them When Mr. Bia don't burn them down, right? Now France go can't give people them light, right? Mr. Sama, good evening. Yeah, good evening. You know that I'm live on YouTube, right? I just told you that I'm live on YouTube, and you want to ask me a question? Can you wait when I'm finished? Some person watch me for YouTube, all right? And he knows I did live for YouTube. Then he pick up the phone, and then he called me. He said, "Well, people they be so eager." All right, very funny. So these things that we want to see, now the political manipulation don't start. Now the interference in this way they don't start. Over the last 1 month, I don't talk about the political manipulation and how it work. Part of which the French they do, the French ambassador visit, now part of the political manipulation. Now part of the ability for manipulate the Ambazonian people then. Because say France go talk say, oh, he want give money, make the fix road them for inside the urban center of inside the epicenter of our resistance. That means now Ambazonian they get for forget about their future. They get for forget about their rights where they want them. They get for forget about their independence where they want them. They can't focus for things in way they not really matter that much in the long term. We need Cameroun make it get out of our territory. Our problem not been a road. We not rise up because we want make they can't fix our road then. We not rise up because we want make the French they can't give money for Mr. Bia and then we talk say go fix the road them for Bamenda. Not been the thing that will rise up. Not been the thing that will people that they ask them. So we must be aware of this manipulation. We must be aware of these schemes and what they do. We must be aware of this deception. And at the beginning this, more go come. We must be ready. Make we not live and make any person, any country, any personality, make it distract you as an Ambazonian. And no one else, if he tell we wait to be good for us, and wait till we supposed to want time. The time with the French, they go tell we wait to be good for us. It don't pass. The time with the Americans, they go tell we wait to be good for us. It don't pass. Other countries not fit do it for them. They no go ever accept them. Make other countries do this nonsense with them. Why they do them? Because they look upon we, they look upon us as inferior people where they know they think, they need a reason, they don't get value, they don't get worth, and some person, it go can't flash you nonsense. It don't care about your dignity, it don't care about the lives of our picking them, it don't care about the lives of our parents, it don't care the lives of our mommy them, our papa them, it don't care about the rights and the lives of the one the way they don't kill them, our communities where they don't destroy them. They never ever make any statement. They wait. When they realize and say Ambazonia don't defeat La République, Cameroon don't lost the legitimacy, they don't get the ability for control the Ambazonian territory anymore, they go come in with political manipulation using money. No amount of money, if you bring back the 30-something thousand where they don't kill them, no amount of money, if you heal the pain of the one where they don't rape them, the one where they don't maim them, the one where they don't cut their foot cut their hand them. The one that they don't die for bush. They don't care about you. They care about Cameroon's continuous occupation of Ambazonia. The manipulation, because they see we as a people where the primitive and will go accept anything where any person can talk. We must stand firm on which we don't ask them, on which we demand them, on which we want them. We must stand firm for defend the dignity of our people then and protect the future of our country. We'll be wealthy enough, we'll be rich enough. There is no development. We at the end of this conflict, we no go fit for develop Ambazonia. We'll be so rich. So make not accept flash. Not live and make any person use some sweet talk can manipulate you about elections. For the Canada talks, for the Canada pre-talks, the Cameroon government is signed. Say we not be part of Cameroon. They identify we because you know if you resolve a conflict without identifying the parties to the conflict. We ask Cameroon, now who you think say you the fighter for this conflict? It been a trap. We ask Cameroon, you think say you the fight this conflict, you think say you the fight now who? It take 3 days of negotiation, 3 full days for Cameroon for come to his senses. No, so we don't tie them for canas. 3 days for Cameroon for can answer that question. Who you the fighter? Cameroon accept. Say we be people of former British Southern Cameroons. Now so it did for the Toronto Declaration. We be people of former British Southern Cameroons. We be Ambazonians. Cameroon recognize we not as people from the Northwest and Southwest. Not as people from a geographic region of Cameroon. Mr. Bia a government, he and Diongute, they signed through their representative during the Canada pre-talks for the Toronto Declaration. We be Ambazonians, a people of former United, British Southern Cameroon. British Southern Cameroons. The territory of British Southern Cameroons. We not be part of Cameroon. Not live and make any person manipulate you. Not live and make any person tell you otherwise. For the international system, in front of the United Nations, Cameroon signed. There will be no Cameroon election for Ambazonia. This nonsense of their occupation must come to an end. Make I repeat what we talked about yesterday. Any person where you live on, you rent your house, you rent your business, you rent your offices to Elekam. That place, it don't become a battleground. That house, it go down. Any family where it live on, some person for Yaoundé, una family members, they go make deal with the colonial government and they take una family property, they rent them for elections for Ambazonian, that house they go down. Now a declaration of war for the Ambazonian people then. Any person, number two, any person where he step a foot for inside Ambazonian in the name of Cameroon's occupation colonial presidential election, would he consider them as an act of declaration of war? Any motto where they use them for do campaign, would he consider them as an act of a declaration of war, and that motto it be also na part of the weapons where they use them for fight Ambazonian? That motto will be targeted. Any person we wear a Lekam t-shirt, we go consider you as a B, we go consider you as an army man, we go consider you as La République police and La République gendarme. You go be now part of the people that fight Ambazonia. No go take 1,000, 5,000, any Ambazonian or any person when you enter the Ambazonian territory or you dey inside the Ambazonian territory and you accept for go door to door for talk say you want go register people there for election, we go consider you as a declaration of war on the Ambazonian people, and therefore we go treat you as such. The time for take the Ambazonian people then for granted, when were people more than 30,000 don't die, and we can use election for manipulate and undermine the effort of the Ambazonian people then. There are consequences, and there will be a very high cost to any person. Not be this time around. A lot of activities that they go on for undermine the effort we did for the international system. For move this matter, one of the strategy for this war, now say Cameroon, it not be trustworthy, Cameroon, it not get credibility, they not get character. Cameroon, it not fit for solve this problem by itself. This conflict, an international conflict, and we believe say we will go get justice through the international system. A lot of movements then, the leader don't put out an audio, the leader don't talk for the Ambazonian people then. They go around for take the conflict and hand them back to Cameroon so that make na Cameroon it bring the solution as a domestic issue. Yerima for the IGK, John Bakuro, Fontem Neba, the one with the idea for Mark Cheps, Ngong the traitor, and a Chris Anu, and a series of them. They work now very hard for move this matter from the international community hand them back for La République du Cameroun. So that the issue now, it will go back for be a domestic issue instead of an international issue. I did bring these things up, make you understand the manipulation. While people don't sacrifice, they don't pay the price, we move this matter to the international system and secure a historic victory where it laid the foundation for any final negotiation through the Canada pre-talks. Any attempt for move this matter and turn them back into a domestic issue, it will lead to more chaos, it will lead to more killings of Ambazonians, it will lead to more displacements of Ambazonians, and Ambazonians, they not go get even 1/10 of the kind justice where we need them. So we must be aware of the noise, of the manipulation. Cameroun is there at a cross point. Cameroon is now for a crossroad. The way they do now that political transition. So a lot of what they go on now for prepare for that political transition. And with the hope say through that political transition, they go use the election as the cross point for the political transition, so that it will be now and say, make they open a new chapter for dialogue and reconciliation. What happened for Momo the last 3 weeks? Now all part of the agitation for see how the fit push the forces, make them become more vulnerable, and bring in the bees through the funds. John Bakuro, he get a meeting with the funds. And for that meeting, there is an audio where if they outside, where the talk say, they say, make them bring in the bees. So while for outside here, they pretend for behind the scene, they are going now for destabilize ground zero, weaken the forces on the ground, for take this matter, give back for the Republic of Cameroon, for the domestic agenda for political transition. Waiting they be things they get for they be in control. When they don't lose their voice, they lost their stamina, they lost their own themselves, they go turn for work with the occupier, with the enemy for their own survival, at the detriment of the sacrifices of the Ambazonian people, at the detriment, actually now an abuse of the one where they don't die. Now an abuse of the one where they don't burn their house. They don't burn their houses. Now an abuse for the hundreds of thousands of our people that they stay for refugee camps. Ayoktabe declare restoration of independence. Ambazonian people, they rise up. Today, the fact say that they discuss a political transition. The fact say they work now. Now how Yerima they work now how they feel undermine the resistance on the ground so that made a political transition to take place. Now an abuse of our people there. So our people they need to stay strong, because these periods they will be very testing. They will test your commitment, they will test your resolve, they will test your defiance, they will test your character. Someone now they don't change talk. I don't explain that for you now. Say a change in language, now a change in intention, right? I don't explain all these things for you many times. So one day when they be called the name of Ambazonian, they be the knack chess, knack hand for chess. They be the biggest, they be Ambazonian activists, they be the godfathers of activists. They carry Ambazonian flag. Today they sing and say they not be Ambazonian activists again. They don't call themselves, say they be Anglophone activists. I be telling you now, a change of language and a change of intention. When some person come out from say the fight for Ambazonia, fight for independence to Ambazonia and immediately changed in name to Southern Cameroons. A change in language is a change of intention. When they come up from Southern Cameroons to Anglophone, a change in language like change in intention. The intention, Ambazonian for independence, Southern Cameroons for find some form of a common ground between Ambazonia and Cameroon for which be try to exist between 1961 right up to 1972. For try to see how they find a common ground for keep Cameroon as one. Anglophone, now a whole different story. Now an issue of, say, people that be marginalized. Not been an issue of human rights, not been an issue of self-determination, not been an issue of sovereignty, not been an issue of a nation. So a whole different story. So make una pay attention for these shifts where they take place. The more money they change hand, the more una go hear people their language go change. The more una go see the attacks for una nationalist movements. But all of these processes, all of this manipulation, they don't fail. They don't fail for one simple reason. Because of you. You the mommy for ground zero. You the papa for ground zero. You were brothers and sisters for ground zero. You the nationalist. You the forces on the ground. You the nationalist forces on the ground. They fail not because you know what you want. They fail not because they don't feel manipulate you. They fail not because you know most of them don't be compromised. And so they need to talk now for your interest or anything will relate to your future. They talk now because money don't change hands. And therefore they don't care about what they be ask you make you do them before. The price they be ask you make you pay them before. They don't care if your entire family don't die. They don't care if you don't lost your house, lost your business, lost your wife or your husband. They don't care if you don't stay for bush for 7 years. When I remember when I telling about the wicked black man syndrome, there be an incarnation of the wicked black man syndrome. When you stand with men and women, may they defend homeland, and then you turn 360 degrees, go back to that same occupier, collect money from that occupier because you not be fit for succeed for diaspora. You use the war as an opportunity for make small money for survive. You not be fit for buy house. You take that small money, you buy house. I wonder the kind of woman the way that they sleep with this kind of man picking them. I wonder the kind of woman them whether they allow this kind of man picking them make it continue for be their husbands. We understand now why Ambazonian people they don't suffer like that since 1961. The character of a people determines the character of a culture, determines the content of the culture, determines the kind men and women where they go make up that society. If during your period of your greatest pain and suffering, they don't care about you, now when do they care about you? the period when you don't go through the greatest pain and suffering and hardship and challenges. At the time that we didn't know who care about you, who get character during the toughest of times. Now at the time that the character of men and women to be revealed. Now during period like this, you didn't know virtuous men versus vicious men. You didn't know quality men and men of the gutter. We did know noble men and satanic men. Now during periods like this, with the true character of every man and woman will be revealed. The one that will be wicked, you will see their wickedness beyond wickedness. The one that will be very caring, supportive, loving. Now that time, they go demonstrate those qualities because that's when it's needed the most. The one that will be kind and caring and compassionate. You go see them display them. You see them for justice, Paul. How it stand for defend the people then? With all the money they use and for one bribe, it deny. You see, Aya Abine Jr. It take risk, go right for inside interior villages of Nigeria. For go find what people them, for feed them. You see young girls as young as 15, 12 years old. They cook chop, go giam for people that be homeless. You see papa them. They open their doors from what people them from other parts of Ambazonian. You go welcome them for their house. I know a family where they take part of their house, where they be there for back house. They be using for store goats. They go clean up. They turn them into a 2-bedroom house. For house a family of 6. A man, a woman, with 4 picking them. They put bed them for them, put light, so that they get a place to stay. During moments of conflict, the true nature of a leader will be revealed. The stamina of a leader will be revealed. During the worst of times, the best of men will be revealed. Also during the worst of time, the worst of men will be revealed. The success in Congo, the Agbobala, the funky. Okay. The one for the bishop in Kia. All these men and women, where they're supposed to be the fabric, the model, a model, the example of character, of honor, of dignity, of purity. You see the complete reverse. They start to show corruption. Now that they move soldiers them from the battlefield. Now that they go from the for the prime minister, go take money, begin to go inside bush, move soldiers them from the battlefield. Now that they go around They carry money, go to bribe activists. Instead for them to stand for justice, they become part of the corruption, part of the bribery. During this same time, you see the rise of General Efan, the rise of General Capo, the rise of General Sumanguru. You see the rise of all these nationalist generals across the territory as they stand with their people there. You see the Kagi, you see the PK, you see the Mamiwoli, you see the Amabos. So many men and women who are not even get time for call their names. Now the same thing, you go for refugee camps. You get young girls where they do extraordinary things for help our people there. At the same time, for that same refugee camp, you get La Republique implanted bees. They inside that refugee camp for gather intelligence and sell Ambazonians to Nigerian military. At the end, goodness will prevail. At the end, good will prevail over evil. It don't always be like that. Good will prevail over evil. Ambazonian don't rise. Nothing will bring me down again. Nothing will stop me. While forces, they do extraordinary work. They grow in size. They grow in strength. Recruitment, they go on. Training, they go on. They increase their capacity. They grow in their experience. We get better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Shake no day. We go clean our society. And we go give our people the way they want them. And I just bear patience. This Saturday when they come, when on number 27 day for this month, for April, the Ambazonian Governing Council, it get the end of month fundraising for raise money for operations, for raise money for stop, for bury, and for permanently end 20th May. They want put plenty. That boom, boom, boom for all over the territory. Every soldier on the ground, he must get bomb for put them all across the territory. So the AGOFC, he want make sure say, for stop elections, we go start now for stop 20th May. 20th May, now the starting point for the election. We get for start for send a signal to La Republique. Say Ambazonian na no-go zone. We get to start for send a signal to the French, to the Americans. Ambazonian na no-go zone when it comes to Cameroun. So this 20th May, this Saturday they come, we want to raise the money now for make sure say we end 20th May, we bury 20th May, and we permanently make sure say none of it ever take place again like 20th May. So we the appeal for all Ambazonians. We the appeal for all Ambazonians, for the diaspora and for the territory. We must demonstrate strength, authority, control, and defiance. We must make sure say because the 20th May, now the beginning that where they will start to take and for measure if election will take place or Ambazonia or not will take place. Make we not give them space. One carton of the bomb them na $250,000 francs. One carton na 250,000 francs. That's about $500 for one carton. Can't help we make we divide them for all the forces on the ground across the territory. We must start the preparation now. 20th May day now less than 1 month from now. We must start the preparations. Can't join we for Saturday. Can't join we for Saturday. What are you there for ground zero? Even if you don't pay a liberation tax, contribute the money for the fundraiser a bit different from the money for the liberation tax, because the money for the liberation tax are for buy weapons, a lot of weapons one time, put them on the ground. The money for the monthly fundraiser now for give money for give the soldier them the money for the bomb them, the money for the bullets, the money for all the things that they need them for the carry weekly operations. So we must focus for disrupt, for end, and permanently bury 20th May. 4 days from now, the fundraiser are going to take place. All will not get my number. Call me, what I did for ground zero, or you did for diaspora. Make us start the process for intensify the campaign for bury, for disrupt, end, and bury 20th May. All right? I'm going to talk this for una for today. As always, we must stand guard for defend the rights, the interest, the aspirations of our people then. God put we for make we live for this time, for fulfill the promise of freedom, of dignity, the promise of independence, and for hand back sovereignty to the Ambazonian people then. For help our people then, may they establish a government for themselves so that our people then, they feel build the kind society, the kind institutions we go reflect who will be, we go reflect our aspirations, our hopes, our dreams. The future, are you the Ambazonian Pekin, are you the Ambazonian man, are you the Ambazonian papa, are you the Ambazonian mommy. Your dignity, your life, it is not for Ambazonia. Hope not there for Cameroun. They never get hope for 62 years, 63 years. Hope not there for them. Hope not there. There's nothing to rescue Cameroun. Now a cancer where they plant them during their independence. We must end the disease where Cameroon bring them for our land and give our people them the kind of life where they deserve. Every Ambazonian deserves the best, and we must give them the best. Good night. We send our love and our blessings for all. May God continue for bless and for protect. We love you.